Today we're going to talk about Bifender FC use in corn. My name is Julia Engler. I'm the Eastern Regional Manager of Vive Crop Protection. What we're going to talk about today is basically help you gain a better understanding of Bifender FC. We're going to discuss the advantages of our product over competitive products, talk about the pests that are controlled by it, and talk about probably the most important thing for you, product performance. In the end, what's in it for you is a new convenient tool for controlling soil insects in corn. Bifender uses the Burst delivery system. It's a unique system to Vive. It's a unique formulation process that actually will change how the active ingredients will interact with the external environment. Basically, it's a complex way of saying we offer a superior formulation. Our molecules there at the bottom, we use different, those are what we call our shuttles, that actually the active ingredient is inside that shuttle. And it stays inside that shuttle until we get into a solution with fertilizer and get into the environment where it releases and controls the pests that we need. We have very broad fertilizer compatibility. This is a comparison showing a number of different fertilizers, and we're comparing our Bifender on the bottom to Capture LFR. And if you look closely, you look at the first jar there on the left, your Capture is above, the Bifender's on the bottom. If you look at the Bifender on the bottom there, you see looks like a very consistent product. If you look above at the Capture, you can kind of you can see the flakes in those, especially in those first three jars. You can kind of see there's flaky. It doesn't look like it's a very consistent product like it is below. Here's a closer look at one of the jars. Your Capture LFR is up on top, your Bifender is on the bottom. And as you can see, we blew it up for you to get a better idea on what that consistency will look like. So you can see on the bottom there, a nice consistent product that you don't see these little flecks in it that you would. And what that ultimately means to you, it's going to stay in suspension much longer than any of the competitive products. And ultimately, what's even more important, it won't clog your nozzles. Here's your Bifender FC on the left compared to Capture LFR on the right. As you can see, quite a difference in the amount of flakes and specks that you see in those mesh screens. Okay, let's talk about what Bifender controls. Corn rootworm, a big market for Bifender FC. But even more importantly, secondary pests that the traits and the seed treatments don't control: white grubs, seed corn maggots, wireworms, armyworms, stalk borer, and cutworms. Let's talk specifically about rootworm. We did a study up in an area with trait failures. So obviously it's an area where the traits, rootworms have become resistant to the traits. It's very heavy pressure. And so that's where we decided, let's take it to the highest pressure to determine just what kind of performance we'll see with our Bifender FC. We did 10 locations. And in those 10 locations, we increased our yield on average by 12.4 bushel. And again, it's very heavy pressure in this area. Ultimately, what's that mean to you on ROI? We increased the ROI per acre on average by $33.40. And again, this is where rootworm-resistant corn was planted. It's a very convenient product to use. You just mix it with your starter fertilizer. You don't have to have any special equipment to put the product down in the furrow with the seed. Here's some actual pictures from that area. Obviously, the Bifender's on the left. Your untreated, it was treated corn, but it was untreated with Bifender, is on the right. And that was at a 7.4 ounce rate per acre. So in summary, we offer a very superior formulation that will mix very easily with any liquid starter that you have. It won't clog your nozzles. It'll stay in suspension much longer than Capture LFR and will go back into suspension much more quickly and easily. You can protect that plant from day one with an in-furrow application. It controls both rootworm and secondary pests. If you're just going after secondary pests, you can use a lower rate than the one we use for rootworm. And actually can be used either as a supplement to the rootworm trait, or in many cases this year, farmers were looking for ways to cut some costs. So being that this is so convenient, it doesn't add any cost to your equipment to put it on. Farmers started going with maybe some conventional corn or maybe some doubles in order to get the rootworm protection and save themselves some cost from the trait fee. Ultimately, what's important to you is a very consistent and positive ROI. Appreciate your time today. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. You can contact me at Engler or at vivecrop.com or at 608-931-1300. You could also go to our website if you like at www.vivecrop.com.